what are different software development approaches? So that's another very important question. Now, different software development approaches, there are many. Waterfall software development approach, V model, which is an extension, or you can say which is basically V model came up to overcome the limitations of the waterfall software development approach. Then we have iterative development approach, which is again an improvement or to overcome the limitations of old development approaches like V model and waterfall model. And the most recent one is agile software development approach, which is very widely followed, and Scrum framework of agile software development approach is the framework that is very widely used across the industry in software development landscape. Okay, there are other software development approaches or agile software development approaches like Kanban, rapid application development, RAD, and extreme programming, and there are others as well, so you can go ahead and Google around, but this should be good enough to make sure that your understanding about software development approaches is there for the interviewer. Now, on the same question, you can elaborate a little more that waterfall software development was more on as the name suggests, it was more of a phased approach, right? Step by step. So one step got completed, then second step. So basically, when requirements are frozen, then design will happen. When design is done, then development will happen. When development is done, then testing will start. So it was very phased approach, right? And there, the problem with this approach was that the feedback from the customer or the production deployment was far away, 6 months to 12 months. And because of that, the feedback from customer was very late in the cycle. And say, for example, you have done all the development work for 12 months and customer saw the product and he said, no, this is basically not what I wanted, right? This is something which is not as per the expectation. So that triggered a lot of rework. Okay, so that's where waterfall development approach was very limited. Okay, and had a lot of shortcomings in there. So to overcome that, V model came in picture, and V model, the approach was to start testing as early as possible and include testing in every phase of the software development lifecycle. So the testing was included into the requirement, design, and all of the phases. And along with those phases, testers used to write specific test cases for each of those phases. But then still it has the release cycle were still long, and because of that, it was also having a lot of limitations. Then came iterative development approach to release the functionalities early in iterations, in short cycles, so that feedback was available from the customer early. Okay, and then agile software development is an improvement over iterative development approaches, and because agile is also iterative, you have sprint by sprint, right? So 2 to 4 week cycle, and these features are developed in these iterations, or the product features are developed into the iteration, so feedback is available very early. Along with this iterative development approach, agile has lot of other principles and practices that are followed into Scrum, Kanban, RAD, and XP, which enables team to work collaboratively, okay, work together, come up with the issues early so that they can be fixed in the requirement phase itself, in the design phase itself, before they go ahead before they get introduced into testing and deployment or final release itself, right? So that's the whole advantage of agile software development approaches. So these are some of the different software development approaches.